So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. That was a great first plenary by the speakers just before. Thank you so much for that. And I'm extremely confident that our plenary that we have right now coming up will be just as great. First off, before beginning, we want to give a huge shout out to the different to the UN Youth Envoy, as well as the different missions here at the UN that help putting this event together. On top of that, we want to give a huge shout out to the Paraguay mission, which was the lead sponsor of this event. Thank you so much to them, and let's give them a round of applause. So, my name is Matt Trimble-Hein, and I'm the founder and CEO of Vonvo.com. 24 years old from Long Island, started Vonvo, which is being utilized today here at the UN. As you notice on the screen we have. Essentially, I graduated University of Buffalo, age 2011, 24 years old. Started this company right out of college. Just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I'm going to give any advice after the event as well. A little background, I became addicted to entrepreneurship back when I was in college, undergrad. Started a company when I was a sophomore. Didn't work out so well, so then as I was getting ready to graduate senior year, decided to start a new company, an internet technology company. As I was in college, I became this huge news junkie. I was watching NBC, CNN, and what was taking place. I was watching hours and hours of news. I just became addicted to the news while I was going on. I continued to get disrupted with the different news stories that these mainstream media channels cover, whether it was Kim Kardashian or Octomom or Balloon Boy, just these totally different stories that came up for important things going on around the world that need to be covered. Just saw some political bias that these channels would broadcast with it. It kind of disturbed me, and I wanted to create a medium that allowed the average ordinary citizen and now nonprofits with our new tool on this is our third iteration of our website, give nonprofits the ability to communicate their cause, advocate for their mission in a real-time video format that you're seeing now. Alex's camera, this is Alex Sheen, who's joining us. It might go black every once in a while because of the human internet. Sometimes the bandwidth can get a little tricky, we might put that in. But that's Alex Sheen broadcasting virtually online. Okay, so today's theme of the IYLA is moral and innovative leadership. Vision, service, and entrepreneurship. All the speakers on the podium today with me here, they exemplify what it means to be a moral and innovative leader. By show of hands here in the audience, who's ever heard of the term social entrepreneur? Awesome. Most of you have heard that term. It's good news. Basically, the definition for those of you who have not heard that term, a social entrepreneur is someone who comes up with innovative solutions to society's most pressing social problems. And in today's day and age, with all the problems occurring around the world, and the unfortunate events taking place, it's essential that entrepreneurs, when they're starting their company, they lead with a socially conscious mindset. They start their companies with this social good mindset. So today, my friend Justin Fong and I, I'm not sure exactly where he is, but we can get around and help from Justin. He helped put on some experiences which they have. And the hope is that you'll be inspired by the work which they've done and they continue to do day in and day out, and will allow you to create your own businesses and your own organization. So, because believe it or not, each one of the people here on stage with me, my friend Alex Sheen, who's participating via Vonvo, we're just instantly born the person we are today. It took many years for each of these people to get to the point which they're at in their careers. They listen to others, they learn from their own mistakes, they recognize problems in the marketplace, in society, and they basically took a risk to try and solve those problems. And believe me, every problem that's created by either a man or a woman just takes another man or a woman to solve. It's as simple as that. So now, enough of me rambling. We're going to move into our speakers that we
name is Alex Sheen, and I'm the founder of Because I Said I Would, a social movement and nonprofit organization dedicated to the betterment of humanity through promises made and kept. What inspired me to start this effort was my father. My dad was kind of old school in many ways. He was very good with his promises. Dad says he's going to come to your game in Little League, at 7 o'clock, 6:59, he's in the stands waiting for you. He was a man of his word. And unfortunately was diagnosed with stage 4 small cell lung cancer. My father, almost 2 years ago, died of that disease. I reflected on his life. I reflected on this thought of keeping your promises, and I gave his eulogy, and I titled it Because I Said I Would. And I handed out one of these for the first time. It's just a card that says Because I Said I Would on the front, and on the back, nothing else. What you do is you write a promise on this card, a commitment. It could be small, it could be something so big that it defines you. You write it on this card and you give it to someone. You tell them that you're going to fulfill this promise, that this card is a symbol of your honor. You go, you fulfill your promise, you come back, you get your card, and you keep it as a reminder that you're a person of your word. Since my father died about 23 months ago, we have mailed over 1.75 million promise cards to over 105 different countries around the world, as I have offered to send 10 of these cards to anybody at no cost. Which is kind of dumb because stamps are very expensive. But at any rate, our mission, and I'll tie it up, is the betterment of humanity. The promises made and kept, and that's how I believe it is done. When we look at the challenges that face this world, it's not going to be solved by the government, by a law, by pointing a finger at the teachers or the school. What it is a promise made and kept. It's us as individuals coming down to that moment where we realize that we must stay true to our word with helping others and improving ourselves. So that's what our social movement is about, and I'm glad to join this panel today. It is my father that brings me here.
So be sure to use those. We've got a couple. So create some promises and make sure you deliver on them. It's going to be one of the questions that we talk about later on today. So now I want to transition from one Alex to another Alex and Alexandra. Alexandra is working for one of the most well-known nonprofits in the world and is truly making a difference. Alexandra, I'd love for you to give an introduction about yourself to the audience. Thank you.
Sure, good morning. I'm Alexandra from the Philippines, and I am the founder and the chairperson of Habitat for Humanity Philippines Council. It's the first and only time in the world, and I started this movement because I wanted to give the youth a viable platform and opportunity to talk about that did not undermine their abilities, but rather enhanced it and allowed them to help out in a more substantial manner. What the Habitat Youth Council does is it's the fundraising tour that led and it's under the umbrella of the Philippines. And apart from Habitat for Humanity Council, I'm also the founder and chairperson of the .org Foundation that stands for Holding Optimism and Values Through Education. It's a relatively new organization, and it was born out of my undergraduate thesis. I went to Harvard and Columbia, and as an urban studies major, our thesis had to address a national issue. And at the time, I chose to do the one for the Philippines, was facing the issue of just passing the K-12 education act. And so a lot of marginalized communities were getting left behind in this implementation of the child education care and development programs. So my thesis was basically setting up a pilot school in a fishing community in the Philippines, running that, evaluating the findings from there, and then from then on replicating to the communities. And I'm proud to say that since I graduated in late 2015, And my inspiration, I'd like to say, is my family. I grew up in a family where philanthropy was really at its core, this notion of service, this notion of that. And I think, I guess, also being the eldest and being slightly competitive growing up, I wanted to do something on my own. I didn't want to be known as the daughter of so-and-so or, the granddaughter of so-and-so this foundation. I wanted to do something on my own. And I saw that a lot of my Filipino counterparts also wanted to do and to do something. The problem was they didn't know how. And so by starting the Habitat movement, I wanted to answer the how question and tell them there is one and there is a substantial.
Alexandra, we see that she's actually a ton of stuff that's at Plenary and youth, as well as winning various awards. I thought that was phenomenal. Learn about Alexandra and what I'd like to now introduce is our next speaker, April, who works directly with youth as well. And when it comes to getting stuff done, I think the mission of that organization can easily be that. So go ahead, April.
Thanks, Max. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Good. So my name is April Wright. I am the Director of International Programs at DoSomething.org. DoSomething.org is one of the largest organizations for young people and social change. And what we do is we create cause campaigns that you have told us that you're interested in, and we get you involved in your own community. My personal role at DoSomething is unique and very exciting. It makes me very happy to be in this room with a whole bunch of young leaders around the globe. So I am the Director of International Programs, and what I do is work with other amazing organizations across the world to set up a program, a DoSomething program in their country so that they can help you and get young people involved in their country. As far as becoming an innovative and world leader, I don't think I ever had this aha moment where it's like, oh, this happened, and suddenly I was like, immediately, I can say that I've been very blessed with amazing role models, an amazing family, just people who have cared about me and invested in me, whether that's friends or mentors or parents or teachers. And because of that, I have always had a desire to get involved further. And then, I guess more directly, I get to see the power and the inspiration that comes out of young people like you every single day. And so, sitting here in this room, this inspires me. I can't wait to talk with you individually and hear your stories and hear about all the amazing work you're doing.
Obviously, we all know that DoSomething.org is really embracing youth activism, having youth make a difference around the world, right? Our next speaker as well knows something about youth. He served on various youth councils for different political parties across Malaysia. And we'd like to have now Arthur introduce himself.
Thank you, Max. Hello, everyone. My name is Arthur, and I'm the youth chief of the Sabah United People's Party. So who knows where Sabah is? Very good, not too bad. Thank you. Well, Sabah is the northern state of Borneo, my country, East Sabah, South China Sea. So being the youth chief of the Sabah United People's Party, first, the Sabah United People's Party is a local party in Sabah. We are a real minority. We represent our people or the race specifically come from what we call the Kadazan Dusun race. And it's only about 5% of this entire population. But we're very fortunate enough that we were representative party, and we have significant seats in parliament, which gives us a voice in parliament and also a place to shape the movement of our country. So what my work revolves around is usually gathering youth activities, coordinating youth activities, getting them involved in government, giving them a voice, connecting people that need help, underprivileged people, youth from the rural communities that need scholarship, access to education, basic facilities, water, roads, electricity. So we're the voice for them. I was elected into this position in 2012. Before that, I had a background in law and economics. I used to work in international trade with a trade organization in Switzerland. Came back, worked as an investment bank. And I really wanted to get involved in society. I wanted to be involved with the world. So my greatest inspiration to this was my father. He's always taught me that service to your country is the best way to do it. So we judge by that. Now, what inspired me the most would be the struggles and the battles that my parents and my previous generation was through. We are in our country, and in the early part of the last century, we were mostly preoccupied with foreign colonization, communism, poverty, gaining our independence, etc., etc. So our parents had to go through that, and that was their first concern. That was their focus. Personal safety included. So, because of the sacrifices that the previous generation went through, we are now in a stable country, and we can focus on other things that are more important to us. Education, economic opportunities. Those are the things that we're going to do. And I'm incredibly grateful to the previous generation that went through all of that so that we can now focus on the pursuit of our own happiness. So I would like to give my future children a platform to carry forward because I believe that every generation should be better than the generation before. Thank you.
Next speaker, I'd like to introduce Rachel. And before I introduce Rachel, I know one of the other speakers before during Plenary was talking about networking, and it's important to note that I met Rachel through one of her colleagues at an event similar to this that you guys are at right now, similar to the IYLA, and by going back and forth to you met a couple of different times for some event events. Developed a relationship with Rachel's colleague Sarah, and then Sarah introduced me to Rachel. And now Rachel's obviously here speaking at this event, and we're beginning to work together. Her online magazine that she's going to tell you about, and Rachel, go right ahead, but just stresses the importance of networking at these types of events, being as many people as you can. I know some of you didn't have business cards, get a bunch of them, and hand those out about yourself at these types of events. Go ahead, Rachel.
Hello, everyone. First, it's so great to be here. Our leaders are bold and strong, and it's an honor for me to share our story today on Conscious Magazine. I am a co-founder and editor-in-chief, and we are a media and publishing company to tell real stories with real impact. Our stories are meant to inspire, to educate, and to drive action. And we've turned into this globally driven community and collaborative effort by leaders, social entrepreneurs, creatives, students, and more. The inspiration and the reason why we do this is that we believe everyone has the power and voice to make a difference. We are so passionate about people who live out their potential in the service of others, no matter their circumstance. We all come from something. And the reason that you're here, you may have been through something, overcome struggles. So that's another inspiration, overcoming struggles. Also, things matter, that they little bit about Conscious Magazine. We are a daily updated website. We are a print magazine, a digital magazine, mobile app. We share everything through social media. We build community, networking, build relationships. It's so important to us. And we host events. My sister and I, we had this idea. We were living in New Jersey. We were in our mom's basement, on our couch, and we said, how can we make a difference? At that time, blogging was just taking the world by storm. We were so impressed. We said, how these people, everyday people, are making an influence. So we decided to jump in and we wanted to take a different approach. So we saw the problem. First being the media landscape. We were so tired of sensationalistic stories and celebrity gossip. We wanted to tell stories that mattered, and we wanted to focus on the solution stories. We also, from listening to our peers, they said they were in their early 20s, early 30s. I want to get involved, but I don't know how. And then thirdly, there are so many people and organizations making tremendous impact right in their community, and we're never hearing their stories. So we set out to tell them. So then we saw the opportunity. There's this growing culture of millennials and social do-gooders, people like you here today. We want to be your support, and we want to reach out to you. And also being media, we have this amazing opportunity to expand geographically and go to various platforms, whether that's food, photography, film, design. And lastly, we get to document history. So with all of that, that was our mission. We said, you know what, we're going to make a difference through stories, but we want to focus on our legacy. We want to raise up the next generation of storytellers and journalists who set out to make a difference. Let's not go after the buzzword columns, let's go after the stories. And so today we have four pillars. One being storytelling, the other one being community, third collaboration, and lastly education. And from the time that my sister and I were on the couch to this moment that I'm here right now, it's been an incredible journey, and there's been some uphill climb. But all in all, what we stick to is just keep going. Thank you.
Rachel. So now one social entrepreneur, pumping out stories about social food stories in particular. I'd be surprised if Conscious Magazine has ever covered the organization next. I'm sure many of you have heard of the nonprofit Charity Water. It's kind of taken the water space by storm over the past less than a decade. And clearly there's just a ton of incredible stories that this organization has accomplished. So I'm going to let Christoph, President of Charity Water, tell you about himself.
Thanks, Max. Good morning, or good afternoon to all of you. I'm really happy to be here. My name is Christoph Porter, and I lead global operations for a young nonprofit based here in New York City called Charity Water. If you have a chance to look us up on the web, you can learn a little bit more about us. We were founded about 8 years ago, and our mission is to provide clean water to those in need around the world. Since its founding, we have provided clean water to over 4 million people, and we'll provide more clean water to more than 1 million people across about 15 countries this year. Our organization is really it's a young organization in itself, and it's made up of young people who decided to make a difference and decided to create a platform for other young people to make a difference. Our outreach is almost entirely digital. We don't really have any marketing budget, and we do all of it online, social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So in part, that really focuses our demographic. My parents' age, for example, many of them haven't heard of us because they're not on Twitter, which is sort of ironic. So what we we've done is basically create a campaign platform where you can go on and create a campaign page and raise money for a particular project in country around the world. And we'll track all of that, and we'll send 100% of your money to the field because all of our operating expenses are covered by some private donors. So 100% of your money goes to the field, and about 18 months later, we'll report back to you exactly where your money went. So you'll get a report that says, whether you gave us $2 or you gave us $200, the village where the water pump was constructed, along with GPS coordinates, photographs, and some information about that village. This really came out of a desire and realization that many young people didn't trust charities and didn't know where the money was going to go. And so we started really with a strong principle around transparency and making sure that if you're giving money, it's actually going to the field. It's not being used here in New York to pay for rent or pay for something less inspiring that you might not be that crazy about. So since we started, we have had about 400,000 people join us, and we continue to grow. We just launched a big campaign yesterday for the Scale region, Sharon Raleigh, helps to raise funds to provide 100,000 people water by the end of the year. So it's a growing movement. It's a digital movement, and it's a democratic movement because anybody, no matter how old or young, can participate in that platform, and it's the same treatment. In terms of my personal background, I grew up as the son of Lutheran missionaries in the Central African Republic of Nigeria. And I think this did two things for me. It did three things. One, it's interesting how many of us have talked about our parents as inspiration. They're the people who really form you in your life with values and set you on your course. My parents were really inspirational for me. The second thing was I lived with me and the needs around me. I was very fortunate, but there were many people around me who were less fortunate as well. And the third thing, which was most important, was that I saw people make a difference. Many of us living here in the United States have never been in a community with extreme need. We don't know how to help them. And having come from that background and having seen how a difference can be made, I understood intuitively how to operationalize that and it was a great motivator. So I look forward to telling you more about myself and the organization, and I'm deeply honored to be here today. Thank you.
Christoph, having learned about what Christoph's done and work that he and charity work in Africa, it's a perfect transition to our next speaker, Rafi, who lead works over in Uganda. It's got a really powerful story that I can tell you about. She makes Plenary works. In Uganda.
Thank you very much. My name is Emira. I am a member of Plenary, working in Uganda, and I am the deputy chair of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs. That committee oversees the work of the Internal Affairs and also the Ministry of Defense, where we have our things at work in Sudan, in Somalia, and Central African government. So most of what we voice on that, I have been there myself to my community. And when I'm in this peaceful forum, and I'm asked to narrate what any of to keep off some of the memories that this is by training. I am a web surgeon who also chose to grow dentally as a So I may miss some people. That's a really good. The question of inspiration is always that who inspired me. Because to me, I think the inspiration was the injustice and showing the community. And probably I would say I was motivated by those who went to imagine that the question was going to be named down in life. Couldn't do that exactly that way. So for me, at the age of 8, I engaged in combats today through 3 of them. And because of what I saw, some of this battlefield, I came out and decided to form some volunteer organization from which I was now picked up and maybe someone with a living for society. I also create someone with the National Committee of the Red Cross. And as you know, that is all about so finally, found myself in Plenary and all the communities. I chose to join this commission because I wanted to see how it is. And the thing about this, maybe I'm not so much of a social or political, but I will share it.
So, after hearing that incredible story, I'd like to now transition to another woman who's doing some wonderful work in social enterprise space. She's creating all these innovative classes for younger and older first-time entrepreneurs to take and learn how to start a social good startup. And I'm really enjoying learning about what Sean is doing. So go ahead, Sean.
So thrilled to be here. I didn't start my story after inspiration. After I graduated from college, I created a Renaissance studies, which is another really what I'm doing today. I was just really curious about the world. Did my career abroad, able to places really another European country. And when I graduated, I realized I knew a lot about the U.S. and really about these. So I went to Columbia and studied American religion, and I had the travel of my undergraduate was free. But so after we studied different religions, I realized that was both international culture. And at the time, I decided there was a interest because I needed to come and go and to show to provide humility to graduate from college, what I hear is stuff on. The inspiration really came from the developing world. I was traveled to about 40 countries for 10 years, and some of the people I saw where my inspiration came from was the car I was seeing really across the road, and really into the wheelchair that opened up. In India, I remember seeing a man who had more single legs on and what would be a moving part, and he had a friend who was supporting him to take camp and change. And these are pretty indelible memories that I have. And it was really from there that I began working with working for a satellite television station. And the real moment was the December 10th when our episode of the trip developed. And I had never heard of this little conference, actually 2005. That's kind of blown away how business continues and to be able to do it. And that kind of transitioned into me wanting to start my nonprofit. I put a flat on my face. My big arrow was in the trade line. The company was called the Little Big Circle. And it was basically a game over. I spent the
idea that in essence what I was doing is creating a small business. So that parlayed itself into coming together in social media collective, which was founded as a membership organization and very quickly was a business model for people that are contributing to the social entrepreneurship phase of their career and their money. So membership fees is not a possibility. And at that point, what I realized was I was the perfect customer. I didn't have to trade myself. I started to put together small workshops that turned myself into an organization phase 2. And from there, I realized that just a la carte education courses around it out and really wanted to create space and make a real impact in to do that through an organization, whether that was a nonprofit or a social enterprise. So the 3 things I'm focusing on right now is training, not only entrepreneurial training, which includes everything from strategy to marketing to accounting to people, but also this idea of cultural sensitivity. A lot of people that are hopping on airplanes and going abroad forget one with about talking. And secondly, if you don't understand culture and you don't understand languages, the ability to affect change is very difficult. Second thing that I don't hear a lot of conferences like this is this idea of partnership between people that you want to serve. So we talk about leadership, which is essential, but what about that which you really want to create change and standing shoulder to shoulder with people that are living with vulnerable conditions. And the third thing is you hear a lot about action, but we don't hear about action that leads to actual impact. I go to a lot of social enterprise conferences, and definitely there's a panel on how to measure impact, and I'm always kind of shocked at how much panels about that. And so I think that this is really important, and in many cases important to be how can I make impact, what are I able to do? What organizations are already on the ground doing this work, they're not succeeding, why isn't it? And finally, the contribution I'm making right now, realizing that organizing and producing local education, how people in class can be self-critical, is in 2 months I'm going to be launching some people who do guides based on the courses that I've put together. And why I'm so opposed to here is really outreach partners. Basically, the 20 guides that are subject specific. And so if any of you are interested in spreading this with 3 guides by top subject-specific experts, I would just love to have your help. And we're just hoping that these 3 guides will really help people to educate themselves, empower themselves to really put together a strong operation, which is really what's going to keep your business, the mission, the vision. But if you don't know how to run a company, you don't have that impact. So, thanks.
Class guest speaker. The other day when I was preparing a transition line, I was amazed by all the schools that we went to. Transitioning from some of the development classes to individual juniors into all around the world taking classes. Many of you, I know some of you are younger, you tutor junior guy. Okay, go ahead.
Assalamualaikum. Hello everybody. My name is Ibn. I'm 25 years old. I'm studying corporate politics, US, Islam, and Harvard. So I'm doing my master's degree in America. So 2 years ago, I was the youth ambassador for the United Alliance of Education from India, and the former president of Global Peace from Indonesia. So now I'm not doing the NPO things, but now I'm also doing my master's degree in the corporate politics and Islam. So I have already written my books that already published in nationals in Indonesia. Around 20,000 books already published. Basically, called Purchasing the Dream of Indonesia. I'm at the national of the rater of the purchasing the
participate in Indonesia. So, what inspired me to be leader? Actually, there are few things that I have in my mind. I would like to share here about my inspirations. My inspired word that comes along with my life is dreams, patience, and principles. Dreams for me is very important. Why? Dreams provide my guidance to the right place. And the dreams make today the source of joy, and tomorrow is winding road for new opportunities. And patience. And I have patience in my life that in the future that I'm going to be the future leader of Indonesia. That's why today I'm studying the master and going to be the PS degree in the next future. So the principles that I have why I'm going to be the leaders for the future is there's three things that are very important in my life. Treating people as you would like to be treated as yourself. The first that I should have in my life is good behavior. You cannot be an independent leader if you don't have the good behavior. And second is visionary. Vision is very important in our life. How we can direct our dreams and we can focus on our visions. And the third one is the communication skill. Nowadays, you cannot, if you want to be the global leaders, you cannot speak only one language. That's why I encourage you to speak more than one or three languages. And we have to, we have to hold in our life. And then, if you're going to be a leader for the future, you need to be different. To be better, you need to be different. If you are going to be the same like any other people, you're going to be the same. It's going to be more difficult. And then, if you're going to be a leader, please act, inspire others to be dreams. And then learn more, do more, and become more. And you are going to be the leader of your nation. Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the speakers in this great introductions. So now we're going to transition into the panel discussion. We've got some awesome questions that have been prepared. We're going to address them the entire panel. What we want to take place just for you speakers, ultimately for being respectful of everyone's time, we have a large panel here, so if you can build upon another panelist's answers, feel free to do so. Try and keep your answers short and sweet, and get started here, okay? So, question number one, and April, I'm calling on you first. So, we've got a ton of problems taking place currently in the world, and as a leader yourself, what would be a suggested improvement or enhancement you would make instantly to help make the world a better place? And after you will have to establish. Go ahead.
So honestly, my answer is pretty simple. You guys. And I'm gonna, you guys do a little exercise here. You're gonna stand up, help do aerobics. So prepare yourself. So stand up if there's an issue or a cause that really fires you up that you want to make different. All right. Sit down for your own sake. Here's another question. Stand up if you have started a project or an organization that tackles some sort of issue in your community or cause that you care about.
more crucial than saying make the change now. I was having a conversation actually before coming here with one of my fellow social advocates, and we both agree that the greatest problem